This is just a short recording that considers the cost of labour turnover and how we can measure it. By labour turnover, we mean the number of staff that are leaving an organisation. Any organisation would like to keep their labour turnover to a minimum. This allows the costs to be kept low and the efficiency high. We can measure the turnover rate by the number of employees replaced in a period divided by the average total number of employees in the period. We can then multiply that by 100 to express the labour turnover as a percentage. As we are only considering the number of employees replaced in a period, we would not include any staff that were lost through redundancies. So now we will look at an example. So a company has 200 employees at the start of the year, and that has increased to 250 by the end of the year. But also, during the year, 35 employees quit and they are replaced. So to calculate the labour turnover rate, we need to know the number of employees replaced in the period, which is 35, and we need to know the average total number of employees. So the average is the employees at the start of the year plus the employees at the end of the year divided by 2. So that gives us 225 employees. So we can now work out our labour turnover rate. The number of employees who have quit and been replaced, 35, divided by the average total number of employees, 225, multiply that by 100, gives us a turnover rate of 15.6%. So 15.6% of our workforce is leaving and having to be replaced each year. Now we don't know whether that figure is high or low. You would want to know what the rate was in previous years, or maybe what the rate is in similar industries, because some industries do have higher turnover rates than others. Now this figure is important because of the costs of labour turnover. So if we just consider those costs, firstly we have leaving costs. That is in terms of paperwork that is involved in dealing with an employee who leaves. There may be the time needed for an exit interview, and there is the loss of output until the employee is replaced. There are also the costs of actually replacing the employee, advertising the position, the interview costs, and the administration costs of then appointing those new employees. There are the training costs for those new employees, whether it be internal or external training courses. And finally, there are the efficiency costs. New employees will be less efficient whilst they're training, so therefore the organisation is likely to see a reduction in output and or an increase in rejected items. So due to these costs, it's important to try and prevent too many employees from leaving the organisation. So if an organisation has a high labour turnover rate, then they need to try and determine the reasons why, and if possible then take corrective action. Possible causes for employees leaving could be poor working conditions. It could be they feel that they have had a lack of training. It could be a lack of promotion opportunities, or finally, poor remuneration. So where possible, these need to be addressed so that the labour turnover rate can be brought down and the organisation has an efficient workforce.